What if the strongest move was utter stillness? No calls, no texts, no updates, just silence. Not out of weakness, but because you're finished justifying your worth to someone who refused to see it. You're done performing for approval, done begging someone to recognize the depth of your heart. This isn't a game, it's reclaiming your power. You gave her your presence, attention, loyalty. She took it for granted, assuming you'd always be there. Now, she faces the void. Silence is often misunderstood. People mistake it for pain, for defeat. But true silence, steady, deliberate, unshaken, is strength. It's control. When you stop speaking, you starve the drama. You revoke her access to your energy. And suddenly, she's left questioning. Did he move on? Why isn't he chasing? Women expect noise, arguments, pleas, desperate attempts to repair what's broken. Silence disrupts that script. It forces her to confront herself. And what surfaces? Regret, doubt, guilt. The version of you who chased her is gone. Now, you're the man who doesn't explain, doesn't beg, doesn't react. You become the enigma, the storm she can't control. While she obsesses over your social media, searching for hints that you still care, you're focused, grinding, evolving, building. Your silence speaks louder than any apology she never gave. This isn't about winning her back. It's about winning yourself back. Understand this. Your silence isn't emptiness. It's pressure, and pressure breaks people. Let it unsettle her. Let her guilt fester in the quiet until it consumes her. Not because you wish her suffering, but because you demand peace. And sometimes, peace only comes when you stop speaking to those who never listened. If you're tired of being the one who bends, if you're ready to stand firm in silence and let her feel the weight of your absence, then you've already won. Won why silence cuts deeper than words. What destroys someone more than shouting, begging, or emotional outbursts? Silence. Cold, unwavering, intentional silence. It's not avoidance. It's your sharpest weapon. When you go silent, you don't just withhold words. You withdraw your presence. And that is what she feels most. A woman who pulls away expects a reaction. Pleading texts, public posts begging for her attention. She wants to feel desired, especially after hurting you. It feeds her ego. But when you respond with nothing, the dynamic shifts. Now she's left wondering, why isn't he fighting for me? Silence denies her closure. It strips away the emotional validation she craved from your attention. You become a mystery, and mystery is irresistible. It forces her to question, to chase the resolution she didn't think she needed. But remember, you don't stay silent to win her back. You do it to reclaim yourself. Speaking to someone who undervalued you is beneath you. Your silence isn't absence. It's elevated presence. It proves that access to you was a privilege, one she lost. Let her sit in the quiet. Let it remind her of what she discarded. No more late-night texts, no emotional lifelines, just silence. And in that silence, she'll hear everything she ignored. To stop living in the past. The moment she left, your mind became a broken record, replaying memories, dissecting lies disguised as love. But dwelling on the past is a trap. The more you obsess, the more power you give to someone who's already gone. Stoicism teaches one truth. What's done is done. The only thing that matters is what you do now. You'll never find peace by digging for answers. Closure doesn't come from understanding her. It comes from releasing the need to. Every minute spent reliving the past is a minute stolen from your future. She isn't losing sleep over what went wrong. You are. Because you keep replaying a story that's already ended. Here's the hard truth. Healing doesn't start when you get answers. It starts when you stop needing them. Stop asking why she changed. Start asking why you stayed when she did. The man who moves forward doesn't dwell, he accepts. He rebuilds. Every second you refuse to linger in the past is a step toward the stronger, wiser version of yourself. So shut off the memories. Let the past rot. She doesn't belong in your future, and your future doesn't need her. 3. You are not her savior. Stop trying to fix her. Let that sink in. You are not her therapist, her emotional rehab, or her second chance at stability. You were her partner, and she walked away. Yet here you are, still fantasizing about being her hero, still believing that if you care enough, she'll change. But that fantasy isn't love, it's ego. Deep down, it's not about her healing. It's about proving you were enough to heal her. And that's not strength. That's self-destruction. Here's the truth. Saving her is not your mission. Saving yourself is. She made her choices. She showed you her patterns, her wounds, then dumped them at your feet. And you carried them like they were yours to bear. But you're not her solution. You're not her emotional crutch. Every time you try to rescue her, you drown a little more. You think love means sacrifice, that real men fix broken women. No real men fix themselves. They don't measure their worth by someone else's healing. You're not here to rescue her from her demons. That's not nobility. It's codependency in disguise. Let her face her own chaos. If she can't carry it, it's not yours to lift. Stoicism teaches control over the self, not control over another's suffering. And here's the irony. When you stop trying to save her, you finally start saving yourself. Your time, your focus, your peace. You stop pouring energy into a black hole and start building a life that's whole without her. That's when the shift happens. That's when your energy becomes unshakable. Not because you're cold, but because you've learned to burn without her. So let her clean up her own mess. You're not her father, not her fixer. You're done handing lifelines to someone who cut the rope. 4. Your value didn't die with her love. She stopped loving you. So what? That doesn't erase your worth. That doesn't make you less of a man. But too many men let a woman's rejection rewrite their self-worth, as if her opinion is the final verdict on who you are. No, her love was just one perspective, not the truth, not the full picture. When she walked away, she didn't take your value with her. She just exposed how much of it you tied to her approval. Let's be clear, your worth existed before her. It survives after her. You don't lose your crown because someone stopped seeing it. You don't become worthless because she couldn't recognize your depth. That's not your failure. It's her blindness. Her inability to love without destruction isn't a reflection of you. It's a reflection of her. But the danger comes when you start believing her departure means you weren't enough. That poison breeds self-doubt, desperation, begging, until you forget who you are. Snap out of it. She didn't define you. She revealed you, showed you where your wounds were, where your foundation had cracks. And that's a gift, if you're strong enough to face it. Now you rebuild, not for her, but for you. You become the man who stands solid, whose worth doesn't rise or fall with someone else's emotions. True power comes when your value is internal, non-negotiable, rooted in purpose, not validation. You didn't lose her. She lost a man willing to give his all. That's not your burden to carry. Your lesson? To never again let another person make you question your worth. You were never small. She just had a narrow view. Now, let her sit with that while you rise. 5. Attraction through indifference. Want her to truly feel your absence? Stop caring. Not as a tactic, but as truth. No pretending, no games, just real detachment. The moment you stop orbiting her attention, her validation, her existence, you become dangerous. Because nothing shakes someone more than realizing they've lost their hold on a person they took for granted. Most men leave a thread dangling. One last message, a vague social media post, a song she might decode. That's not indifference. That's disparity in disguise. Women sense it instantly. Real attraction ignites when she can no longer read you. When she checks your profile and finds no breadcrumbs, just silence, momentum, a life moving forward without her. That's when it hits. He's not waiting. Kill the need to be seen by her. Post because you're living, not to be noticed. Don't chase. Create gravity. Let your energy pull naturally. When you stop feeding her your attention, she starts starving for it. But the second you fold, like her photo, watch her story, send a hey, you break the spell. You scream, I'm still here, still hooked. And she relaxes because she still has access. Power isn't in anger, it's in indifference. Close the door, not with drama, but with quiet self-respect. You walked away. Remember? Let her sit with the distance. Let her wonder. 6. Emotional mastery is power. Every reaction is a handover of power. Every outburst, every emotional text, every late night rant, it's fuel for her ego. But the man who controls his emotions controls the frame. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable. When chaos comes, you stay centered. She expects you to spiral, to beg, post sad quotes, lash out. That's her proof she still matters. But when you respond with silent discipline, that's her undoing. Why isn't he upset? Doesn't he care? Is he already over me? Your calm becomes a mirror, forcing her to face her own instability. Build this mastery brick by brick. Catch impulses before they become actions. No drunk texts, no reactive posts, no ego battles. Breathe, reflect, move in silence. In a world of emotional chaos, the man who keeps his composure becomes rare, respected, desired. She expected you to crumble. Instead, you turned pain into focus. That's the twist she never saw coming. 7. Rebuild in the shadows. This is the phase she won't see. Your silence transforming into evolution. Not just disappearing into purpose. While she's curating her unbothered facade, you're in the lab, forging a version of yourself she won't recognize. Most men rebuild performatively, posting gym selfies, flaunting fake confidence, screaming progress just to prove a point. That's not strength. That's still playing for her audience. Real rebuilding happens in the dark. Lift weights for discipline, not aesthetics. Chase money for freedom, not flex. Sharpen your mind for clarity, not applause. Stoicism teaches this. Internal strength needs no witnesses. When you rise not for revenge, but for yourself, the transformation becomes unstoppable. Then, when you finally step back into the light, calmer, sharper, untouchable, you won't need to say a word. The room will feel it. She'll feel it. And here's the irony. The less you care if she notices, the more she will. That's when the what ifs creep in. That's when regret takes root. You don't rebuild to win her back. You rebuild because broken isn't your default. And that's the ultimate victory. 8. You never needed closure. Let this sink in. Closure is a myth. There's no magical conversation that will heal the hurt. No explanation that makes betrayal hurt less. You think hearing "I'm sorry" would change things? It won't. The truth is already clear. She chose herself. Her actions, or lack of them, are all the closure you need. Stoicism teaches this. Closure isn't given. It's taken. It's a decision. A line in the sand. A moment you say, "Enough. I'm not waiting for peace. I'm becoming it." You don't need her apology. You don't need to know if she misses you. Her silence is the answer. Every step forward, every hour spent grinding, every time you resist the urge to reach out, that's you taking power back. You're not chasing clarity. You're creating it. This isn't about hate. It's about rebirth. While she spirals in the echo of your absence, you're moving, building, becoming the man who doesn't need to prove anything. You didn't chase. You didn't beg. You let her feel the weight of her choices. And that's what crushes her. Not your words, but your silence. Now, close the door. The next chapter doesn't include her. Final note. If this resonated, share it with a brother who's stuck in the loop. Remind him, strength isn't found. It's built. Hit like, subscribe, comment. She lost me when I found myself.